Hey guys, my name is Dice Rollin, and today I am giving you a slightly different review. This time I'm only reviewing one thing, and that thing is considered to be a bad horror movie. I plan to review other terrible horror movies individually in the future, so if you have any suggestions, by all means leave them in the comments down below for me to check out. Now, interestingly enough, this horror movie that we're going to be looking at today is one that I have already talked a little bit about on a top 10 list. It was on my very first WTF horror movies list that I made, and this movie is called Monster Dog. This is a 1984 film that was directed by Claudio Fragasso in Spain. It stars Alice Cooper playing a rock star going back to his childhood home to film music videos. However, once he and his crew arrive, they find that there are strange and deadly things happening in the area. The movie begins with Alice Cooper's identity crisis before it switches to a van with Mr. Cooper himself and his crew. Only his name in this movie isn't Alice Cooper, it's Vincent Raven. Let's be honest here, that's about the most teen goth name anyone could come up with. Another weird thing is that even though this movie was filmed with all the actors speaking perfect English, it was still dubbed over by English-speaking people. Oh no! You dubbed over Alice Cooper? Hell no, bitch, I'm out. So Vincent and his crew are driving back to his childhood home, which he hasn't been to in over 20 years, to shoot some music videos in the hope that it would inspire them. Here, we're introduced to Joss, who is the caretaker of the house, as he prepares for their arrival. But he has to step out for a moment so he can play into the horror cliche of the window not being locked so the wind is fucking with it. Then he steps outside because he hears howling and barking. Good idea, kids. There, he's greeted by a nice diverse group of possibly rabid canines. Meanwhile, the sheriff and deputy of the town complain about the weather while Vincent pulls up on their roadblock, because apparently a pack of rabid dogs calls for multiple roadblocks. The sheriff and his deputy explain what's been going on, involving the dogs killing people in the area and traumatize the blonde before they let them go through. The sheriff also mentions that the people in the town hadn't forgotten about what happened to Vincent's father, which leads Vincent's girlfriend to ask him about it, and he responds with a solid "fuck that." The sheriff and the deputy hear some rustling in the bushes and decide to go investigate. You know what that means. They're dead. 100% dead. Hey look, I was right. Vincent hits one of the dogs and proceeds to hit it again. With a rock. Because it's a mercy killing, right? An old man appears from the woods to cause more trauma and tells them they fucked up and they're all going to die, before ominously disappearing back into the woods. Now the best thing they could do is get back into the van and...
I can't just drive off and leave him.
Okay, so I'll drive.
Hey, wait a minute, Vince.
There he goes. Vincent and Sandra go after the man and come across the monster dog, at which point they decide that's enough exploring for one night and haul ass back to the van, miraculously unscathed by comparison of the sheriff and deputy. They arrive at the mansion and look for Joss, but he's nowhere to be found, because he was fucking stupid and got eaten. And bless Vincent, because he's the only smart one who grabbed a gun immediately after entering a creepy old house. You know, I have to say, for being the caretaker of this place, Joss did a shit job when it came to dusting and getting rid of cobwebs. And in the kitchen, everyone eats the sandwiches Joss made while Angela proceeds to be the life of the party by telling everyone they're in grave danger here. So everyone goes to sleep and Angela has a nightmare where everyone is dead. And the creepy old guy from before stalks her. She finds Vincent, but he turns out to be a hideously deformed ferret. Werewolf. Vincent goes back to reading a book about werewolves and Sandra criticizes him for believing in them. He explains that his father had a condition that may have been described as lycanthropy, and the townspeople killed him because they thought he was the cause of the murders at the time. Sandra goes back to bed but stops at the family portrait on the wall and sees what appears to be the same monster dog that she and Vincent saw before in the bushes of the painting. Next, we get a montage of the group messing around and setting up for a music video. While everyone's shooting the music video for See Me in the Mirror, Angela notices a silhouette of someone at the window above them. This turns out to be Joss as his dead body falls on top of Angela. Vincent and the others go to investigate what happened to Joss and find signs of a struggle. Meanwhile, Angela is hallucinating and wanders off into the woods alone. So the guys grab some guns and Vincent goes out to find Angela while the others stay in the mansion. Sandra tries to call the police, but the locals have cut the line as they apparently believe that once again a Roberts is responsible for the killings. Doesn't it make you so glad that we have these in case of a crazy mob? While everyone's packing up to leave, a car pulls up and out comes some armed and crazy locals. They try to convince the group to let them in, saying that they knew Vincent's father.
But these people are in the same boat as us. And it seems to me the more guns we have around, the better.
Okay. Come on in.
$5 says that Wonder Boy here dies first. Eventually, they do let the hobos with guns into the house, and what a surprise, they end up turning on the group and taking their guns away. The leader of the group tells them that they believe Vincent is to blame for all the deaths lately, and he plans to kill him just like he did Vincent's father. Eventually, Vincent finds Angela and they return to the mansion, only for Angela to be shot with the bullet that was intended for Vincent. Vincent takes off to the roof with 3 of the 4 locals chasing after him, while 4th stays behind to get rid of the others. However, Sandra stabs this guy through the foot with a fire poker and takes his gun away. And up on the roof, Vincent shoots one of the men. The others decide to go after Vincent to try to help him, and a pack of dogs get into the house as soon as they open the door. Vincent kills the other locals, and the dogs go after the 4th. Dumbass over here tries to throw a lantern at one of the dogs, and this literally backfires on him. Vincent's group tries to fend off the dogs, and the monster appears, breaking the door down. Sandra and Mary Lou run up the stairs while guy number 2 is killed by the monster dog. Then Vincent appears and they take a nap. Vincent discovers that the pack of dogs suddenly seem to be very calm and not aggressive at all. So he, Sandra, and Mary Lou decide to take the locals' car. But, small problem, they don't have the key. Vincent and Sandra go into the house and up to the roof to try to find it. And turns out the leader wasn't actually dead as he grabs Vincent. Sandra shoots him and they get back to the car with the keys. They drive off believing that everything is okay now. Can you guess? Go ahead, try to guess what happens. Yep, Mary Lou is dead and the monster dog is in the back seat and proceeds to bite Vincent. So Sandra bails out while Vincent crashes the car. Sandra hobbles around trying to find Vincent, but the creepy man from before finds her and tells her that Vincent has taken his place. Sandra finds Vincent, who tells her to shoot him as he's begun the transformation. With some hesitation and low-budget special effects, she does, thus ending the reign of the monster dog. After that, we get a mild plunge into insanity, some more identity crisis, and the movie ends. So, okay, so there are some plot holes to talk about here. Like when the leader of the group of locals is talking about how he's going to kill Vincent with a silver bullet. Yeah, right, okay. But then Vincent is able to kill the old creepy dude, and Sandra kills him. Were all of the guns loaded with silver bullets? If not, the leader lied, or they're not really dead. The plot itself is shaky and nothing new. The twists and turns you see coming a mile away. But hey, what do you want from a B horror movie like this? Aside from that, let's talk about acting. As far as a B-level movie goes, this certainly isn't the worst thing I've had to witness. As a matter of fact, as a Cooper fan, I found this enjoyable. Everyone did a decent job. Not great, but passable. And given that this was Alice Cooper's sort of comeback/recovery from alcohol and cocaine, I'd say it wasn't bad on his part either. As a whole, I don't think this movie was meant to be taken seriously, especially since Alice Cooper himself has said that he enjoys horrible C and D horror movies himself. This was more or less for shits and giggles, and the love of cheesy horror movies. If you're an Alice Cooper fan, then I would say you should definitely watch this, even though the whole voice dubbing thing was totally unnecessary and kind of a turnoff. And if you're not an Alice Cooper fan, then I still think you could get some laughs and enjoyment out of it too, just like you would any other rock star featuring horror movie. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like to let me know. And don't forget to leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of this movie, and suggestions for other bad horror movies that you want me to review. Also, don't forget to share this video to help the channel grow, and subscribe for more videos like this. See you later.